Something like that. Love that Vanessa did that tune. It's one I've been meaning to do for years, and she beat me to it without even telling me. Good job, Vanessa. Scott McKenzie, of course, San Francisco. Of course, written by John Phillips. So I got a lot of Love and Spoonful things rolling around here. I got to get to some more Love and Spoonful songs as well. So I just talked to Vanessa this morning. By the way, welcome to the news. It's Friday, October 10th. Whew. Yep, lucked into that one. And just got off the phone with Vanessa, or off the Skype with Vanessa, and she said the reason she had to do that song was because she just left San Francisco of course, a week and a half ago, and it kind of popped into her head. So that was a great choice. What I want to talk about today, ragtime. Going to get to that. I got a lot of props today, visual aids and things, and let's see, what else? I think that's about it. Oh, the songs, I guess I'm going to go through the songs first. But because we had kind of an interesting set of stuff, I guess I'll save the Smothers Brothers. No. Glad people kind of liked the whole ragtime aspect to the Smothers Brothers thing. I figured once I'd gone to the trouble to arrange it and learn it, might as well make a lesson out of it. Other people would like to have it, and I really appreciate the comment. It was from Walt, of course, that saying, hey, I need more practice doing finger-picking songs with bar chords and stuff. So, what else did we have this week? We had finished up Marc's lesson with some fascinating questions and stuff. I think I told you, I mentioned in the text probably about that he had blown all of his questions, or at least gotten to all of his questions during the lesson that he thought about bringing to camp. But he came up with some really good stuff at camp too. So have some more pretty cool fly on the wall things happening. A little project that Sandy and Lynn have started. We'll save that till it evolves over the next few weeks. Got to a couple more of the ear training things, the D and the E ones. Yes, as you noticed, a little bit more difficult, and that's kind of the progression that's going to happen. So we're getting a little further out there as we get into some minor keys and some other stuff over the next few weeks. Had a couple more snapshots. What did we do? We did one of did Jules' song, Foolish Games, and Suzanne sung in Dutch. So hope you appreciate that, and hope you can put up with the sometimes shaky cam we had. This was not really planned, and so well, anyway, it was fun. I'm glad we really got those sort of documented before Karina had to leave town. So let's see. Speaking of camp, I got to tell you guys, talk about raving about Dave Nachmanoff being there and stuff like that. Yesterday, in the mail, I got a thank you note from him for letting him be involved. This is like so weird, above and beyond the call of duty. Dear Neil, oh, it's in cursive. I just had send this to my kids who can't read cursive. Is the next generation like dying on this? I said, it's so great to see written stuff, which I can't do. I never could anyway. But dear Neil, just want to thank you for bringing me in as a teacher at camp and for making me feel so welcome. So it was a great bunch of people and a great experience. So it's I hope I can work out my schedule. To kind of paraphrase, would really love to be able to come back next year. All the best, Dave. Dave, thanks a million. You got to get your account up and running, buddy, because I think you probably can't see this because I know you mentioned to some people that. Anyway, it'd be great for you to be able to see all the cool stuff that we have here and throw in your 50 cents on it, your well-educated opinions. So, Mr. Philosopher, our buddy Dave. Okay, let's see. The last thing I want to talk about. Well, let me see if I can stumble through something that 30 years ago I used to do these things. Let me think. I might have to dig up the music. Bear with me here. An example of a ragtime piece that is a ballad, kind of like Solace. I'm not going into Solace though, from the Sting, as we noticed. This was Heliotrope Bouquet, a song that Joplin finished for his friend, who was dying unfortunately, Louis Chauvin, of the same disease that killed a lot of them back in the early 1900s. And Louis had just written those two parts, and felt he needed to finish it. Got to have 4 parts in a ragtime piece. So those 2 parts of Heliotrope were not written by Joplin, but what he added to it, and this part I probably have no chance of getting through, but I might have the music here. Let me see. Oh, well, let's just see what happens. It ends with that's the 3rd section. Then it ends, let me think. Oh, since I got that far, maybe I'll try the 4th. I got it, I think. Anyway, that was Heliotrope Bouquet, a song I first heard, well no, I'd heard it before, back when these cool records came out in the 70s. The Entertainer, this one was a bunch of, so Stefan Grossman started this label, Kicking Mule Records, with a guy named Ed Denson, who goes back to the hippie days of what was going on in the 60s. And then put out this album that had, this was kind of a collection one. It had a bunch of different ragtime pieces, all Scott Joplin pieces. Yep, all Joplin pieces by different people. Dave Laidman, even pictures of the guys here on the back. Leo, this is why I called Vanessa to pronounce his name. Wijnkamp, I think she said. Wijnkamp. So in English we might just say Wijnkamp, but he was Dutch. And this recording of Heliotrope was done by Jim McLennan, and back then, these records, for like another, they either came with them, let me see if I have an example, I think I do. You could buy like these tab books. Here's one from Davy Graham, the complete guitarist. Have, music to all this stuff. It was really cool. And so I bought every one of these that I could. They were cheap, like $1.50 or something ridiculous like that. And the one that really impressed, there were two Dutch guys that were really seemed like they were the cream of the crop. Leo was the other one. This was his album, Rags to Riches. And this had by far the best version of The Entertainer I had ever heard. Well, I had to modify it a little bit. But, Walt, you were talking about, let me see, there's this one, yeah, with the book that came with, this is taking way too long. Anyway, here's my binder. Here's the one, it does have a price, $2 for the classic rags of Scott Joplin arranged for the steel string guitar. So in this one, there's a version in C. There we go, play it in C, Neil. in camera. But I hadn't really planned on this. Anyway, so that, yeah, hard to believe. That's the easy version. Let me see if I can fake my way through the version I used to play. Still flat, huh? But you've heard me play this before, but I think I'm gonna see if I can remember a little bit of all four parts. This arrangement was great. Leo's. Goes back and repeats the first part. Then that, of course, repeats and goes into the little interlude again, I think. Yeah. And then this last part. Okay, now I got it. Okay, I gotta go home and practice. Oh wait, I am home, but if I want to get that in good shape, I gotta get back to work. Okay, just want to share that with you. I think I've gone through everything I wanted to today. Back to ragtime. I guess maybe a little more definition of ragtime. Let me back up a little bit. Give me one more piece of trivia. Because all you really need to make something ragtime is to have steady alternating bass going on with the left hand, or the left hand, this left hand, and then a syncopated melody. This wouldn't be ragtime. This would be. Now, a lot of ragtime pieces, though, have a little bit more more notes in the melody. There's the syncopation, that last note. Do, 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 do. The note on the and of 2, and the melody note on the and of 2 and on the and of 4 are usually carried over onto beat 3, or beat 1, depending on which one it is. So that's the syncopation that you typically hear in ragtime. Got it? Accented notes on the and of 2 that are carried over onto 3, and accented notes on the and of 4 that are carried over onto 1. Okay, enough for today's primer on ragtime. Back to work, and I will see you next week.